Hey guys, my name is Zachary Bland. Everybody associated with the ministry knows me as Bland. I'm a graduate of John 3:16 Ministries, and today we're going to talk about why and how my experience was there, and then also why I continue to support the ministry years later. My involvement with the ministry become pretty a pretty good bit different than most people's. I'd never heard of the ministry. I'd actually How I found out about John 3:16 Ministries is that it was actually a person that I was buying drugs from and had overdosed many times at their house, and they had come to John 3:16 for an interview, and they actually referred me to the ministry. And that was kind of odd because I'd been to every place around Arkansas, it seemed like. 17 facilities before that, and I'd never heard of it. So it was definitely a godsend, and that's all I can really account that to is some random guy who I was purchasing drugs off of put the name of John 3:16 Ministries. And I went through the ministry, and like I said, I'd been to pretty much everyone around the state of Arkansas, and had gotten out and fallen. And I woke up on a Thursday morning, dope sick, and just a few days before I'd heard about John 3:16, and I knew that day when I opened my eyes where I was going. And I guess you could just relate that to what God had put in my heart that day. But I picked up the phone and called the office, and a guy named Scott had answered the phone. And I wasn't asked about if I had insurance, wasn't asked about how much money it was going to take for an intake fee, but two main things that really got me was this. Scott, even after I would go back and do what I was doing and fall asleep, he'd just keep calling me back. So I had a bunch of POs to get a hold of in court cases. And that stuck with me. Funny story, kind of. I was supposed to be in court August 2nd, and I knew I had to get help or I was going to die. So I don't recommend it, but I ended up with John 3:16 August 1st. And it all worked out in the end as I went back and they saw the proof of what God had done in my life. And all my court cases were dismissed and dropped. And but that's how it kind of worked with the good Lord showing out on my end. But August 1st showed up, and I was accepted, told to go to detox immediately. And a little under a week later, I showed back up to the ministry and got my bags unloaded down to the Saline County Faith House. And what a walk that was every morning to the kitchen. And August the 9th, I gave my life to the Lord. It's when my life actually changed, not just getting sober. This is what, I said I've been to every facility pretty much around Arkansas. Got out, relapsed, messed up. But where my life changed was August the 9th, 9:45 in the morning. It's the milestone of my life. And my sobriety came from it, following Jesus. I was on the lawn care crew, Albert's crew, and I was watering bushes 2 minutes at a time outside the Unity House. And man, the Lord started working on me, and I gave in and gave up that day, and my life's never been the same since. And I guess that would lead into the question of years later why I support the ministry in the capacity that I do. John 3:16 started with me, then it spread to my family, and that's one of the reasons I support it so much is that it's more of a shotgun effect, is that you think you're just going to help the family and yourself, but it just spreads into your community and into our churches locally. But what happened with me is I transitioned out and graduated. I've got the opportunity to work in multiple county jails and prisons in Arkansas in a chaplain capacity, and this is why I still support John 3:16. Any given Sunday, there's one gentleman that comes to mind, especially I go to church and get out early, but as I'm leaving church, just about every single Sunday, there's a boy that I got out of Greene County Jail probably about 2 years ago, and this is and it's just about every Sunday I'll meet him coming that same four-way. And as I'm leaving church, him and his wife and his granddaughter, who, they were all gone in his life at this point when I got him out of jail. And any given Sunday, we meet at that four-way stop, and he's going to his church as I'm heading home. And that's one thing that I have. It's absolutely changed my life in ways I never thought. Becoming a graduate and getting to help the next generation of men go to John 3:16. And that's probably why I support the capacity I do, is because it was about me in the beginning, but now it's the men's lives, and that effect of it starts in one man and spreads to his family, and then it starts in the community. And that's one of the biggest reasons I've seen year after year, month after month, men able to transition, whether it be from the streets, whether it be from incarceration, to see a man in the wildness and the loss and the deprivation that they're in, and then to see that man go through, be faithful, graduate, and then to see him a year and a half later go to church every Sunday, holding a job, leading other men to the Lord, leading his family. That's why I continue to support the ministry, is because of the domino effect. I've seen it starting in a little bitty county jail, and then years later, you see that same guy who's willing to drop everything he has. This happened just not too long ago, I'm 2 hours away taking a guy to the ministry, and another guy wants to come get help, and I can pick up the phone, and the same men that I got out of jail, they are willing to drop whatever they've got to go get another man and drive them 2 hours one way. And that's why I am a sponsor of John 3:16. Changed my life. It's changed really my outlook on life, because I have a life today that I never thought I would ever see, much less get to experience. And the impact that Jesus has made through me, through the men that I've seen his life change at the ministry, and then them to go on to lead another generation. That's why I'm a corporate sponsor, and I'm a wholehearted believer in the ministry. Not because I've heard about it, but I've seen about it with my own eyes. And I continue to see it month after month, year after year. And that is why I will wholeheartedly support and sponsor the ministry anytime I get an opportunity to.